All right. So I'm Reed with Rapid Response Training, and this is Austin of Austin's activities and Austin behavior. You can
Allegedly.
elaborate or not on who you are and what you like to do.
Well, I will say this: those charges were dropped. Okay, the Austin
Yes.
activity charges.
Allegations.
Yeah, the allegations. Other allegations are a firearms instructor. I'm out here in the Phoenix area. Um, my affiliations are kind of up in the air at the moment. That's all I'll say about that. Um, but yeah, should I go into my background, stuff like that? People want to know that kind of stuff.
Up to you.
So I've been training for going on 10 years now. Officially in November, it'll be 10 years since taken my first commercial firearms training class. I took that when I was 18 years old. First two classes I took were fighting pistol, fighting rifle from tactical response, if people want to know. Since then, trained all over with a whole bunch of different people. Started teaching about 2 years ago as a side gig. I really like teaching. Want to do some more in the future. But right now I'm not teaching, I'm talking. So, anything else you think people should know? Anything you want to know?
And shooting and putting wax in that mustache.
Yeah, or as you call it, a dick broom.
Hey, allegations again.
Allegedly.
All right, so we were talking, and you've got some strong opinions on a certain feature that is a must-have on a handgun, whether it's an everyday handgun or some sort of a duty type pistol. So, and
allegedly,
I remember you telling me if you don't have these, you will get killed in the streets. So, which is going to be our title here tonight. So, tell me, front slide serrations. Why must you have them?
Well, that's a great question because you shouldn't. Here's why. It's not the serrations themselves; it's that they need to exist. In my opinion, can I show guns on here? Is that okay?
Bro, I don't fucking know. Go for it.
Well, I'm showing one. Ready? Here it comes. Okay, I got one.
Ah!
This is like one of my only guns that have front slide serrations.
Hell yeah.
So, allegedly, the purpose of these is for monkeying with your gun, in my opinion, and most people's opinion, unnecessary, inefficient ways. For example, if you're going to do a press check, most guys, they grab it like this, and then
hold on, a what?
A press check, where you press it and check it to see if it's loaded. Something like that. You can see it's unloaded because you need to do that.
I guess. Familiar.
Yeah, I pretty much know my guns are loaded or not because I load them when I need them loaded, and I unload them when I need them loaded. And usually, if they're unloaded, they're like that, so I can tell that I need to load it. Anyway, so yeah, stuff like that. So press checks became a thing, and then dudes on slick guns like this one, they were like, "Wow, there was I got more. Believe me, there's a lot of them." They were like, "Oh man, that's really tough to grab it because I'm trying to grab it like it's my brother's dick or something because I don't want to because I'm putting this is the only grip I get. That's really slick. So I'm gonna go to my gunsmith, have him build these front slide serrations so I can grab onto it easier because this is the only thing I'm grabbing onto it with. So I need the serrations to grab onto it and pull it back.
And you also have to do it that way because it just looks way cooler when you got your elbows out and you're doing that whole thing. Oh yeah. You have to do that. You can't do it. Oh, get ready, dude. We'll go gun for gun here. You can't do it like this. You cannot do it like
Absolutely not.
Because that doesn't look as cool.
You got your finger off of there and shit like that.
I don't even know how you do it, dude. I really
don't. Like that. Which looking down into the chamber, which while I'm down there, I might as well check my split times, right? Like, shooting 0.69 splits, nice. So, yeah, that was the purpose. And now you can't find guns hardly without them, like this Ruger RXM. It comes with them from the factory. I specifically got this Glock because it doesn't have front slide serrations. Because it is known how much I hate them. So I got this one without it, and also has the that thing in it. So if you ever get a,
17.
It was a 19.
Dude, I hated that on the 19.
Really? You didn't like the? You didn't like that?
I hated it.
Why?
I pinched myself.
Really? I've heard of that. Like when guys use it, they. I've heard it affects their hand when they're gripping it. I haven't had any problems with it, but.
All right, well, I'm gonna do the most unprofessional thing ever. This channel is hilarious. I'm gonna be like timeout, but I'm not gonna hit. Oh, I can hit pause.
Oh, here we go. Pause.
Shoot. All right, pause. All right, don't shoot yourself in the dick. Or dude, that would be great content.
No promises. Standing by. Oh, you missed it.
I
was standing.
I would catch that. Yeah.
I was standing by like this in Sewell because down is down. Can't point it up. You might shoot a plane. So anyway.
Also, you can't call it down because that doesn't sound cool.
Yeah. I can call whatever I want. Okay.
We got to use the $10 words.
Yeah, like dick broom or lip pillow.
Yeah, those are not synonyms unless you know something I don't.
Yeah, it's called a lip pillow in some circles.
I thought that was your Zinski, dude.
No.
Lip pillows.
Not from. I don't do those.
No.
I'm not cool enough for those.
I've never done those either, for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's why they exist. They shouldn't have to exist because you shouldn't be doing that shit. You shouldn't be grabbing it like it's your brother's dick and pulling it back and looking in the chamber to see if it's loaded. Funny enough, on a Glock and Glock clones, they have this little thing right here on the side. And if you feel that, you can feel if your chamber is loaded or not. You don't have to look at anything. You don't even really have to like take your hand off the gun. You can just kind of feel it. But people want to do that.
But it doesn't look cool to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, now you're kind of getting like ET finger going on, which doesn't look very cool. So
the trick is to do the most amount of clickety clack
that you can possibly
do. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, even if you can't see it, that's pretty cool.
Well, that's like, and you know how you know that's necessary is when you watch action movies and they like take a gun out of the holster and it makes the clickety clack.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know, dude.
Yep.
Hollywood.
That's how you know.
It's cool. They know
clickety clacking's cool.
With Hollywood.
You have no right to do that. You got to be clickety clacking with their front slide serrations because it's not enough to grab it like that. If the slide's too slick, we got to put these things on it and make the ejection port face the wrong way because stuff comes out of it this way. So we got to point it up. So if anything was going to come out, gravity's going to pull it right back down in there, and then you get to clickety clack even more because it causes a malfunction.
It's true.
It's hard to argue with that logic.
Makes sense if you don't think about it.
And if that doesn't stop it, you putting your hand over the ejection port when you're clickety clacking and shit comes out of there, that'll definitely leave it in there, and then you'll be clickety clacking on all day.
Now I'll give you a counter argument to that. So here's a small gun, and overhand. It's pretty easy to do that as well.
Okay.
Skill issue.
Is it any easier if you have front slide serrations and you do your thing like that on a small gun?
I don't. All right. So, here's a good question for you. Have you ever been to a class where an instructor has advocated using the front slide serrations for anything other than a press check?
Advocated? I can't say advocated. I haven't.
Okay. So,
not yet.
So in your world, so far, these exist only for press checking, which is gay. So you don't even want the temptation of being bi-curious and grabbing those serrations.
Yeah, because I know I can't trust myself, so that's why I don't want them.
Oh, yeah, just keep it away from me.
Just keep it away from me.
Also, here's another thing. All right. Look how aerodynamic that slide is.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, look at all the drag that's going to pick up. Like, it
High
could
drag.
even cause a malfunction.
High drag, low speed. I'm surprised
that could slow the slide down enough where it doesn't cycle properly.
Very well could. Yeah, I've seen dudes, mostly like competition dudes, they'll just rack it like that. Like if they reload it, they'll also rack it like that.
Yes.
I don't know why, but I've seen them do it. They just go like real shit. I can do it even with these front slide serrations, even with my baby hands. You just ain't that slick. Because
bro, that looks
because why the fuck would I ever do this? Like, I know I insert the magazine right here, and then I could just come over. But what if I did that and then I did this? I'm erect right now, just thinking about it.
So that brings me. I recently, well, not recently enough because I don't train enough, right? But because time and money, unfortunately, are limiting factors. But I recently was in a class where the instructor taught that as his preferred method of running the slide. So I thought that was very interesting as typically everybody is slide stop, slide release, right? Like that's what the cool guys advocate for loading your gun from slide stop. And I say that because they'll say reload, but it's not actually, they don't actually advocate it for a reload. They advocate it for loading the gun from slide stop because you can do a reload at 1 round through 32 rounds if you've got a Stendo-matic like in your gun, right? And none of those are going to happen with the slide stop. Not a single one of them.
Well, you said slide stop and slide lock. Did you mean slide stop and racking the slide?
I mean, this is what I mean. This is how they advocate, right? I'm going to put a mag in and I'm going to do that. So that's how the cool guy instructors.
Oh, you just did the thing too. You were like,
oh yeah, dude, come on.
Did you do it? Did you do it without? Wow, that's impressive. You can do it without the serrations.
Well, I put the serration on my fingers. That way I can apply it to any gun instead of having it on the gun.
Wow, you're built different.
Come on. Listen, people don't think like I think, but thank God. Point being, for some reason, because I'm doing the cool clickety clack, I'm like, oh, I got to grab it up front. Or maybe because we're talking about it, the world may never know. But so typically in most of these classes, like, frankly, you and I are the weird ones, right? The tactical response people are the weird ones that advocate overhand rack, rip it to the rear, let it go. Most places are going to teach use your thumb, hit that duber on there.
Well, yeah, they should because it's faster.
For who? It can be faster. It can be faster.
It's faster if it works.
It's fast. Well, it's faster if it works. And then, which in fairness, you can also screw up the overhand rack method, right?
Sure.
It's faster if it works. But here's the other thing is like, I could also just get really, really good at overhand rack. And if I put as much time and effort, maybe I'd be even faster with slide stop. But I'm still going to be faster than 99% of dudes out there who aren't practicing it like that.
Right.
So
yeah. But anyway, well, we're getting sidetracked. So you had a thing about the fronts. So is that guy's preferred method for racking the slide?
So his preferred method, and I'll do it with the gun that has him on here.
Good idea.
Was to magazine and then rack from the front, and go back out. So it feels very weird for me doing this. So
Yeah, was that
I'm
gun
probably
loaded
not.
too?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not anymore. I
Well, fuck me to tears.
got a safe direction. So, yeah, mag, and see, that's how I short stroked it. Him and that. Mag, reload. So now the reason he gave, I took this in notes. The reason he gave, I probably should have looked at these to prepare, but obviously this video is free for a reason. So he was like, I like it because it's the most consistent. It works on every gun, and like some guns, you can't reach the slide stop, and it's faster. Oh, here's what it was. It's faster than the overhand rack or the slingshot, which nobody likes except lefties. It's faster than overhand rack because he wants efficiency of movement. So instead of the hand ending at your chest and having to come back out to the gun to resume firing, he wants it to be right next to the gun to resume firing. So a little bit of well, never mind. I'm not going to drop any names because I don't want to imply that they advocate or support a certain technique or something. But
you paid for that information. These people aren't.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say like the biometric efficiency, if you know who I'm talking about. A little bit of that vibe going on. But the weapon system platform.
Yeah, I know the type.
Yeah. But which, like, I mean, if you look at it objectively, it's not necessarily incorrect. Like, there's an argument to be made that it's more efficient for hand motion. And maybe if I did it exclusively, it would feel as natural to me as the overhand rack. But I found that interesting because I've been training for about as long as you, maybe a year more. And I've never been taught that, never had it advocated for. And that's government and private training. This is a first for me. So,
yeah, there's always that aspect of no one else is doing it, let me do it kind of thing, which sometimes that can pay off.
So cool. Come on.
It's so weird. People are going to click on that short video on YouTube and take it to the full video, and you're going to get views on it.
Dude, it looks so cool, and you've got your cry pants and your staccato. So,
and your front slide serrations.
Obviously, you got it, because if you don't, you're going to get killed in the streets.
Definitely.
Okay, so
can I advocate for front slide serrations for a second?
Yeah, I wish you would.
So here's one place I do like them. So for a right-handed shooter, for a right-handed gun, which I don't even know if they make left-handed pistol. Anyway, so for a right-handed shooter, when you put your finger up here, you can feel the ejection port. You can feel that your slide is closed. And when it's open, if you're right-handed, you can then feel the slide. And if you feel the slide, you know that it's open. If you're a freaking piano playing figures like me, you can probably feel the front of it. But if you're left-handed, you can't, because you feel the slide here and you feel the slide here. Now, with front slide serrations, it's smooth when it's forward, but when it's locked back, you can feel the serrations if you're left-handed. So for left-handed shooters, left-handed people, I don't hate them for that purpose. Now, if you're going to do the thing, actually,
So now this
if you are left-handed,
yeah.
if you're left-handed and you're doing that, that's slightly not as bad because at least the ejection port's down. I mean, you're still covering the thing, and you're still getting a grip like you're grabbing your brother's dick.
So, on the police department, lefties were taught to slingshot. If I can, I'm not in the frame here. To slingshot, so their ejection port's going to be down, whereas right hand overhand rack. So that's another method to kind of achieve a similar goal.
Right, but my point was you can tell what condition your gun is in by feeling it. And for lefties, because normally if it's smooth, it just feels smooth all the time. You'd not be able to feel if your gun's locked open or not. But if you're right-handed, whether it has front slide serrations or not, you can feel the ejection port, or you can feel the slide serrations or whatever. So for lefties specifically,
the scenario you're talking about would be like, it's so dark I can't see the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't shot at all because I'm picking up a gun in an unknown condition. Because if I have been shooting, I either know if the slide is locked back because I shot it to slide lock, and like you can feel that, you don't have to see it, or
most of the time,
if it is not functioning, you don't need to know if the slide is back or forward to do your malfunction clearance. Like that's why we do it the same way every time, right?
Yeah.
Our reloads, our malfunction clearance are the same whether the slide's forward or back.
I mean, yeah,
there's no need to diagnose.
I mean, a scenario I could see is if you're shooting and you're so locked in on shooting, around a corner or something like that, you bring it back, you feel the slide, and you go, "Oh shit, my slide's locked back," and then you reload before you come back out.
Okay,
I can see that. I mean, I'm just saying it's a way to tell things about your gun without looking at it, like feeling the thing instead of doing a press check kind of thing.
Yeah, it is an indicator.
Yeah,
certainly. Okay.
So I mean, for that purpose, I don't hate it. For left-handers to feel it, I don't hate it. I still don't like them doing that. Click clacking.
No. I mean, the most accidents happen when people are doing administrative gun handling because they're treating the guns inappropriately, whereas when they're shooting them, they're treating them like they should because they know they're going to be shooting them.
They know a bullet's probably going to come out of it. They know a bullet's probably going to come out of it when they press the trigger.
Yes. So the less administrative gun handling, the better, and that definitely includes press checks. And they're not, like you mentioned, they're not even necessary. So and well, here's another thing. I think we can talk about press checks because I think it falls into the category of front slide serration activities. You're taking your gun out of battery. You're deliberately taking your gun out of battery. So, like, I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, I'm preaching to the choir here, but James was like, "Hey, if you don't know your gun's loaded, tap racket."
Yeah.
Like, because there's ammo in your magazine, it'll go into the gun, and now you don't have to wonder. Now you know it's loaded.
Or even better, get a magazine with bullets in it and stick it in and rack the slide.
Yeah, and just reload it. Little proactive reload there.
Yeah, sure.
So, but all these people that do the tack reloads, that wouldn't work for them because they don't run the slide.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate for them, I suppose.
Well, maybe they should
that tool in their toolbox, but so taking your gun deliberately out of battery, if you're like, I want to make the whole point of doing a press check is you're like, I want to make 100% sure this gun's going to work, right?
Mm-hmm. So let me make it not work for a second.
Yes. Well, and let me potentially make it not go back into battery.
Mm-hmm.
Like the gun is designed to operate, and again, preaching to the choir, but to our 7 viewers, the gun is designed to operate.
I think we're gonna get 69 on this one.
Hi, Mom. My mom is not watching. The gun is designed to operate with the slide reciprocating the entire length of the gun, right? And using like, there's a reason that recoil spring is like as big as it is and can compress all the way and then force the gun back into battery, right?
Yeah. You mean that whole thing?
Yeah, that thing. That
thing.
That little squiggly.
That whole thing.
So it's the fact that you're like, well, let me just use like 3 of those coils. I'm sure that the greatest firearms inventor, at least, well, that's probably John Moses Browning, but at least for modern pistols, the greatest firearms inventor of all time was like, they only need 3 of these coils, but let's go ahead and give them 69 of them.
He was like, that'd be nice.
Yeah, exactly. He did it just for the lulz.
Mm-hmm.
Not
He's ahead of his time.
That is the amount of spring power needed to force that gun back into battery and make sure it's loaded and ready to fire.
Yeah. Who needs them?
Yeah. So
press 66 too many, in my opinion.
Yes. But press checks are gay, and if you do them, you're a bad person, and you should feel bad about yourself.
100% agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always see this, and I just let it go. I never see people do this or anything like that.
I almost kind of think that's worse. Because I have seen people do that, and I'm like, bro, that means that your gun potentially ain't in battery. Like that, right? Like that means better.
Yeah. You're doing this other thing to solve this problem that you created. It's like you take it to the mechanic and he gives you your car back and says, "Well, I couldn't fix your brakes, so I made your horn louder."
Yes, I like that mechanic reference. That's nice. That's a thinker for some of us. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah. So besides press checks, and besides actually running the gun, now they do make your gun look sick.
Dude, look at this thing.
Yeah, dude. Look how much cooler that looks than this.
Yeah, but even look at mine. Mine are like on an angle and shit. That's how you know it's really cool. Because like yours are just straight up and down. Yours are square, just like you.
Yeah, fair. Although I think you might be more of a square than me.
You know what? You're lucky you're not in Arizona right now. I'll just say that. But anyway. Now, I am liking this River RXM though. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not ready to say buy it instead of Glock 19, but I mean, if I had a student shoot this and a Glock 19, and she said they felt the same, I was like, if they feel the same, buy this one then, because it's less expensive and it's optics ready.
Yeah, so is this one.
Yeah, but that has MOS. I love Glock. I love Glock. I hate the MOS. I hate it.
Bad. It's bad.
MOS sucks.
But, they now have the best system that exists on the planet.
Right, which is not MOS, if you'll notice.
Correct. Yes.
It's the ACUT or whatever it's called.
They corrected the issue. It's a factory milled and mounted optic, which, by the way, you can get for less than the cost of an MOS gun, a plate, and an optic.
Yeah.
Like that gun, that Koa or whatever with the direct factory milled aim point Glock combo, that gun costs less than this gun costs to put together.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to buy, and you don't have to buy suppressor height sights. The sights that come on it work.
Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, if you notice on mine, it has regular height sights.
Oh,
and you can
the little EPS boy.
Yeah, the EPS. So if you get the slide milled and the EPS, you can use regular size.
Oh, you need it milled?
Front sights. Yeah, this is milled. I mill all my guns because, like I said, I hate the MOS.
Milling is superior. It's a superior system. And
yeah.
Even when you have, even a good optics ready system is inferior to milled.
Right. Well, that's basically what this is because it's milled. There's no plates or nothing. It just already has all the holes in it for whatever optic you want. You just put
dude, we argued about this. We argued about this already.
We did, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, look it up. But
the hole where the optic sits is bigger than the optic.
Is it
like perfectly sized because it fits multiple optics, so it has to be. Right? Same with the MOS. Like
allegedly.
I don't know.
Well, the MOS sucks because there's that stupid plate. Because you screw the plate into the slide, and then you're putting the thing on the plate. So you always have to deal with the plate. This has no plate.
Yes. So the plate's a failure point, and it would be better if it did not have the plate. However, the problem is you're still trusting 2 screws to hold the optic to the gun. Like all of that energy, inertia, or like whatever other sciencey words that somebody might yell at me, is riding on those 2 screws. So versus,
I'm not saying it's better than the A cut because I mean that's a stupid argument.
Like your custom milled gun that you sent to whoever, or you did it with yourself with your Dremel, is better than a direct optic ready no plate system because it's sized exactly for that optic.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, that's the best. This one's the second best because there's no plates.
Sure, second best.
Well, Koa is probably the A cut's probably the best. Second best milled. Third best this thing. MOS fucking sucks.
You know what I'm upset about with the Koa? It fits at an angle and sits down, right? And then the rear sight screws into it, holding it down, right?
Mm-hmm.
It should be the opposite way. The back of the optic, because of the way the slide moves, right? Shouldn't the back of the optic nestle in there and the front set down and throw a screw down in there? Or maybe they can't do that because of what's underneath that part of the slide. I don't know.
I'm not sure what you're trying to say, but I mean it's Glock and it's aim point. They probably did a pretty good job.
I trust it. I'm not an early adopter on anything, but mostly because I don't have any money. But
yeah,
well, that's not totally true. I think I was an early adopter on one thing ever, which was the Cloud Rain, the original, the 1.0.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah. No, I trust it. I think it would make sense to me if the part that was biting into the slide was facing rearward, so that when I grab this optic and yank back on it, I'm not yanking into a screw. I'm yanking into the metal of the slide.
Well, why would you grab the optic if you have front slide serrations? You just grab it like that.
It's true.
Problem solved right there.
That's true. That's the real. We figured it out.
Yeah.
You are the world's greatest detective. It's to avoid grabbing your optic because the aim point Koa is backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, Gaston. Well, you didn't say it, but you implied it. Gaston Glock, greatest gun engineer ever made, ever born, whatever.
Yep.
Made in God's image. He was made in God's image. Okay.
Indeed.
There you go. Yeah, that's why they Glock puts the front slide serrations on there with the Koa. They were like, we can't put it the other way, but here's some front slide serrations, so you don't have to worry about that.
That's true. Now I think he's definitely dead before the Koa happened. And,
Allegedly.
Well, yeah. There's some that say he escaped to Argentina. But that's the other guy.
That was the other Austrian guy.
Yeah. The other guy. Damn, I forgot what I was saying.
Well,
he might have been dead before front slide serrations, though.
No. When did they start doing those?
On the Gen 5 from factory.
But now the Gen 5, because this is a Gen 5. They had them around for a couple years without them.
Oh, I'm
this
sorry.
This is a Gen 5.
The original Gen 5s, no. This is the very first like Gen 5 MOS.
Yeah, they started doing them on MOS, I think, and then on the regular ones after that.
And then all of the like, there's not a new model, but I think
it's like a Gen 5.5.
Have them, yeah. Now
Gen 5.1.
Yes.
Yeah, because they all have them now.
Here's a. I thought this gun had it. It doesn't. The old 1911. So they got that scallop at the front. So.
Oh, like this?
No, you ain't got a 1911 laying around,
scallop.
boss. I figured you would. Or did Barb take it in the divorce?
Yeah, I had to sell it up there. I lost my job at the asbestos factory. God bless. Had to sell the hog and the kimber.
R.I.P. fam.
But that's scallop. I think I know what you're talking. Is it like the dust cover where it doesn't?
No,
like the dust cover ends there.
It's on the slide, but it's like I can't get anything in frame. It's like here. But does a scallop count as a front slide serration?
I don't fucking know.
A singular front slide serration.
I don't know, but the staccatos come with front slide serration, so I mean.
That's true. They do. Those are 2011, so. Yeah.
We're getting way off into. I don't know shit about those other than staccatos. Staccatos are not drop safe.
Oh, I know. I don't know a lot about them. I know they are universally a terrible idea. Well, here's one of my favorite James Yeager quotes. He said a $5,000 1911 will run as good as a $500 Glock, and a $500 Glock or a $500 1911 will run as well as a $5,000 Glock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't like. It's crazy to me that so many people are going to that as a defensive gun because it shoots really nice,
bro. Yeah, it's everyone who doesn't like tactical response, well, they're not watching this video anyway, but if they were, they would be upset because we just keep beating this dead horse. But it's such a mindset deficiency. Like,
yeah,
this gun is really cool. People pay attention to me on Instagram, and
I can shoot really fast split times.
Yes. And then I can, my sweet trigger and my hashtag sweet trigger and that sort of thing. And what you're doing is you're spending $2,500, right? So
at least
5 times as much as a Glock for a gun that is less user friendly, right? Because you've got all these buttons and switches on it.
It's got a hammer. It's got a safety.
It's got a grip safety. It's got a thumb safety.
The thing when you do a press check, when you get a press check, you can't smack the back of it because the hammer. You're gonna hurt your hand.
Also, safety's got to be off for you to do a press check.
Yeah, so you got to take the safety off, do it, and then smack it. It's yeah, it inhibits your press checking. That's not good.
Or you have to be unsafe to do a press check, dude. Can't have that.
Yeah.
But the so you're spending 5 times as much. You're getting a gun that is less user friendly. It is like everything for it costs more.
Mm-hmm.
It is at best, it is as reliable at best. And I think typically you'll get dudes argue that they are as good. They're less reliable guns. And that's not.
I know the magazines, like the quality control in the magazines or the reliability of the magazines. Like you have to find good magazines. You have to find magazines that work.
That costs $120. And
are they that much?
Well, I took a class. Again, I'm not gonna name names because I'm not trying to be a dick. But James was a student in the class with us. So
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. And the instructor's 2011, and I don't know what this may have predated Staccato, but he had a 2011 and it was suffering. And he was like, that's because these are my $90 training magazines. I didn't want to use up my $120 like carry magazines. Like, yo, dude, what are you talking about?
Wow.
And that was one of the excuses.
Well, that's also the thing with 1911s, and I guess some 2011s is there's no OEM magazines for them because there's no OEM for 1911 because everyone makes a 1911. So as far as I know, Wilson Combat is like the magazine to get for 1911. I don't know which one to get for a 2011 but I imagine
it was. But I don't know. I don't know anything about 1911s, dude.
That's the extent of my knowledge of 1911s, and you need to get them worked on all the time. It's like a 69 Camaro.
Nice.
Like it's nice. It's nice to look at. It's not nice to drive or maintain. They need a lot of work. You got to take them back to the gunsmith for one thing or another. You got to find magazines that work. You can't just buy them. You have to buy like 69 of them and throw away 68 of them because only one actually works.
Yeah, it is and that's 1911s, but we'll say all of those, like, it just does not make sense. And so it's less reliable. The parts wear out faster. They need more maintenance. The only redeeming quality is that they're nicer to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other problem too, and this is a big problem in training and stuff. I don't know if you listened to the first episode, but big problem in training is dudes focus in on stuff that doesn't matter because it's objectively measurable. So if I like, you were joking about your splits, right? Like, that's objectively measurable. Now, how much does a split matter in the context of a gunfight? Like, if I shoot a bad guy and I shoot him again half a second later, or I shoot a bad guy and I shoot him again 0.7 seconds later, what has that 0.2 second split difference, what has that changed in the gunfight? Does anyone live or die because of it?
Well, it may allegedly open you up to excessive force accusations because you shot the dude 69 times before he hit the ground versus 5 or 6 that was necessary.
That's probably going to depend a lot on the whole political scenario.
Yeah, probably.
But yes, it's the point is like, and I had a good conversation with Lewis about this, and of course it was not filmed, but the what I'm doing with my hands, what I'm doing with this gun, doesn't really need to be faster, right? Like James would say survival level of proficiency, right? And you have the rest of your life to make that shot. But what makes a huge difference, so my draw to first shot, everybody's like, oh, try and get sub 1 second. Let's say I'm at a 1.5, right? I think I could realistically consistently do that. So that's a good estimate at X distance, whatever, doesn't matter. Now, if I was half a second faster, if I got to that 1 second or sub second, right, my 0.99 draw to first shot, how much does that matter in the context of a gunfight? It may matter a little bit, but what matters a lot more is when I see the guy from 20 further feet away because I'm paying attention, right? Or what matters a lot more is instead of doing the stand and deliver, right? I'm moving before the guns come out. Like I'm already moving. I don't have to wait to be attacked to move, right? Like I may wait to be attacked to get this gun out. I may not. I prefer pointing guns at people long before they're going to attack me.
Yeah. No, I want to get involved in the shooting, not a gunfight.
Oh yeah.
I want to be the only one shooting, and then stopping the bad guy.
I want to see things sooner so that I can make faster decisions, right? And that we're talking like full seconds, multiples of seconds, tens of seconds, maybe minutes potentially, which is going to contribute a lot in a gunfight and not my 0.1 split time. Or like a split time, however silly it is, like it's likely you will fire more than one round. We'll do the reload, right? Like your one reload one time. Like, dude, the odds of a mid gunfight reload, like especially in a regular dude citizen setting, are so astronomically low that like to me, and this is a little bit training methodology, it's almost a administrative skill that I'm going to teach. Now, I'm not going to teach them to do it administratively. I'm going to teach them to do it martially. But the point of me teaching them to do the reload is that so we can continue to train. It's not because I think that is a priority of a skill that they need to know.
Yeah,
now,
I mean, I tell my students the second magazine is not for reload. I mean, that's a nice byproduct of it, but it's to fix your gun, because the fastest way to fix a double feed type 3, whatever you want to call it, is to rip out the old one and stick in a new one. Or if you have a magazine that's fucked and it's not going to feed any more rounds, you can tap rack that thing all day. But the only way to fix it is to take that one out and stick a new one in. And if you just happen to shoot 15 rounds and you need at least 16, you got some more, which is nice.
And that's the thing too, is like, what are we preparing for? Are we preparing? And like James would say the Optimus is the guy with the J frame and the speed strip in his pocket.
Yeah, like this one.
Do you have a speed strip in your pocket?
I don't have a speed strip in my pocket. I own speed strips,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
also this is my backup gun.
Yeah. So, but he said it was an Optimus because only an Optimus would think they'd be able to reload that gun with that speed strip.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah, I've done dry practice with a speed strip, and dude, even with a speed loader, that thing sucks.
Oh yeah.
Like this, I can see why we got rid of this shit. Like
that's why this is my backup gun.
Yeah, I have one of those too for backup, but I just happen to have this one on me right now. Usually that one, the shield, because that's a shield, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, usually it's stuck to the wall on a gun magnet for my shower gun.
Nice. Do you? Does it rust?
Does it rest?
Does it rust?
A rust? I haven't seen any.
Interesting. I'd be paranoid about that. This gun, I actually don't have that much rust on it right now, surprisingly. A little bit. Yeah, surprisingly not a lot. But
I do also live in the desert.
I carry this in the ocean.
Yeah, I was going to say, you live by the ocean. I live in the desert.
I carry it in the ocean.
Yeah, you carry it in the ocean.
In the ocean, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't even have an ocean to go near.
It's true.
Here. And it's also like 8% humidity in the summer.
Must be nice.
It is. It is really nice. I mean, actually, it's hell for like 4 months. The rest of it, best weather, other than like San Diego or maybe Hawaii.
Yeah. Dude, here's now that we're since I've talked about James 69 times, I'll give you another James story.
Please.
So we were at the shop. It was like before class or something, or before alumni. Something was going on, and obviously he's there. Dudes are there because he's holding court, and somehow the topic of California came up, and in our circles, like everybody shits on California because it's communist, right? So now I had just been, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna be honest. I just went to California for the first time. I was like, that place is awesome. That place is freaking sick, dude. And James was like, dude, it's so nice. And everybody was like kind of surprised that he said that. He was like, every time I go to California, I feel like a conquistador. And like he looked around and he goes, I look around and I say, this place is pretty nice. I'd like to kill all these people and take their shit.
Yeah, it sounds like some shit he'd say. Yeah. I mean, California is outrageously beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
It's a great state. It's just, everybody in it.
Well, it's not even everybody in it. It's like 3 counties or something.
Yeah, well, everyone who matters.
Yeah.
Politically, culturally.
Yeah. It's the problem with California is full of Californians.
Yeah. But San Diego, I used to go there every summer as a kid. San Diego is an amazing place.
Love it.
Like the weather's amazing. The city's pretty cool. At least it was the last time I went there, which was almost 10 years ago. But like, I loved it. It was just, it's just really expensive, and it's in California.
Yeah, exactly. But cool. Anything else on front slide serrations? I think we covered that and everything else.
Yeah, I'm gonna grind these off here in just a second with the file because
hell yeah, dude.
I can't be seen with front slide serrations.
Hit your serial number while you're at it.
Yeah, might as well. I might even. Oh, but this thing has the shelf on it. The whatever they call it, the gas pedal. They cut it in.
Okay.
I talked about it in the group, but for people with normal sized hands, they're like, cool. I can like put my thumb there and hold it down, and then I got my fucking piano playing thumbs, and I put it on there, and it's like, bruh. Like it's not even.
See, you need a weapon light, dude. Just rest it on there.
Well, I went to my local gun shop and all those guys shoot competition. They have shit they bolt onto the side, like it's a big ass like paddle, like
Yeah.
that. To put your thumb on.
Yeah.
I need one of those because I got long ass. They'd have to put it on the rail for me because I got long ass thumbs. I shoot
That
and people
might.
are like, is that a 43? I'm like, no, it's a 19. I just
If
uh,
you put one of those ledges on there, though, I think that might get in your way of your press checks with your front slide serrations.
oh yeah, the big old paddle
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to risk that.
Well, that's probably also why you put a charging handle on the where the rear side goes. It's like literally a rod that sticks out like that. So you can grab
Yes,
that. I don't know why he has it on there because he never racks the slide anyway. He just between stages just drops the mag and inserts the new one and he's good to go. Don't even need to rack the slide.
true.
He's got it figured out. That's why he has that thing all tricked out. Me, I'm just I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So
Yeah,
I got this
well,
stupid thing.
I'll go to a competition and get very, very humbled. Like those dudes can shoot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you'll get humbled. It'll make you look stupid because you can't shoot as fast because you're not a competition shooter.
Yeah, we're doing different things.
We're doing different things.
Now, I would like to get so good that I can go from appendix concealment with my carry gun and demand respect. Not win. I don't have that lofty of expectations, but command respect.
Yeah, I mean, you won't, but you won't. You might impress people like me and like that are like, man, that guy just did in his flannel with a appendix carry with a Glock Koa. He didn't have a race gun or anything like that, and you did okay. Like those dudes, because I mean, they're the super athletes at what they do. Because like, I know you're a football guy. Like, there's the dudes who are good at football, and then there are the dudes who are genetically superior to every one of their peers,
Yeah.
and they're really good at football. So it's both. So like guys like Robbie Latham, because like he does classes and he's just like, yeah, hold that thing and slap. Allegedly, I haven't actually taken it, but he can say things like that. Like when you see him shoot, he's slapping that trigger like it owes him fucking money because he's got big ass monkey paws. He just grabs onto that thing and slaps the shit out of the trigger, and the slide just moves back and forth like that, and it doesn't recoil because he's Robbie Latham. He's got these big ass hay baling arms, these big old monkey paws. That's why he can shoot so fast. So he's genetically superior. He's naturally gifted, and he's put millions of rounds downrange to get that good.
Yeah.
So like, sorry, Reed, but you're not going to be that good
No.
and that's fine for what we're doing. That's fine.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. I don't want to gunfight Robbie Latham.
I don't either. Seems like a nice guy.
Yeah. I know he likes 1911s and Clint Smith.
Yeah.
That's about all I know.
Oh,
but I like Clint Smith, so
he's going to beat the shit out of you on the split times. Like you're going to be on round 2. He's going to be on round 69.
Nice.
If you have a duel at high noon.
Yeah, I might be late to that one.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, and I say I haven't trained with him because he doesn't teach anyone unless you're a class C shooter or better. So like he doesn't even
really?
fuck. Yeah, he doesn't even fuck with you if you're not at that level because he ain't got time.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. He's like, I'm not trying to explain what a split time is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair. Whatever.
Yeah, he's not gonna entertain the idea of why you need front slide serrations on your Glock. He's gonna be like, show up with your Springfield Prodigy and 420,000 rounds. I'm gonna teach you how to grip that thing and slap the trigger and get really fast split times.
What is that?
Oh, that's the Springfield 2011 thing. It's another 2011.
I bet that thing works really good. I bet it almost never malfunctions.
How much you want to put down on that bet?
I bet it's fantastic. I thought that might be what it was because I was going through old photos and I found a screenshot of one where a dude was like, essentially the gun was a joke, like it was not working, and he was like, "Oh, this is
No.
actually good. This is actually good because whatever." And of course, I had to screenshot it and send it to a mutual friend of ours, and being like, "Look at this idiot! Like, why does he not understand?" But all right, cool, man. Well, I appreciate you yapping it up with me. You are going to get killed in the streets because that carry gun is all
No front
slick like.
lacerations. I have no idea if this is loaded, and I can't even check.
Dude, I will cover down with my serrations for you.
Yeah, because you'll check if it's loaded first.
Well, yeah, I do a press check. So I've trained myself because you always have to know the condition of your weapon, right? I've heard a lot of people say that, and they get like they're real passionate about it. So I know it must be important. And
you know they're legit because they call it a weapon.
yes, and so what I do is when I draw, I make sure to do my appendix draw and then press check as fast as I possibly can. That way I can get back in the fight fully knowing the condition of my weapon.
Yeah.
So
got to be sure.
Yep. Now it is, there's been some NDs, but like if you're not having NDs, then you're just not handling your. I can't even get it straight. I couldn't even hold it together. You're just not handling your guns enough, dude. If you don't have an ND, I don't even know what you're doing.
Yeah, one of my colleagues who
not even taking this seriously.
one of my colleagues who advocates for press checks. He says there are two kinds of people who have had NDs or people who are going to have one. And then
I know which one you are.
Yes, I have a pretty good guess. But I literally had a sign made of the days I've carried a gun without having an ND, and I'm at like 3,390 something, 92 or something like that.
I can't count that high. I would just always have it be 0. That'd be way funnier.
No, always have it be 1, and when people walk into the room, be like, "Hold on," and you walk up and erase it and put 0, and then you just sit back down and don't say anything.
That would be better. Yeah, that's true.
Leave it at 1 or 2, and then just hold on, 0, and then just don't acknowledge it. Refuse to elaborate.
Yes, and leave.
Refuse to elaborate. Just change it to 0. 0 days since you had an ND.
So you're familiar with the function check on an M4? Okay, so
it's not familiar with that weapon system platform.
Yeah, so the it's all the clickety clack, right? So like unload the gun, and you're not press checking. You're fully unloading the gun, looking for the empty chamber, right? Like we want an unloaded gun to do this. And then we're gonna press the trigger with the safety on, make sure the safety works. Safety off, press the trigger, run the bolt, press the trigger, hold it to the rear, run the bolt, test the trigger reset, safety back on, check it again, right? Function check.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah. So my old department, so we didn't have individually issued rifles. So the rifles were just assigned to the car. And when you got assigned a car we also didn't have issued cars. So when you get assigned, you come into muster, right? You get assigned your zone, you get assigned your car, and then whatever gun is in that car, that's your rifle for the night, right? Clearly, this is what I would call a not ideal scenario, but that's what we were doing. So the SOP was to do a function check, right? So like you're going to make sure that gun's going to work. You're going to check the optic. You're going to check the light. And I was probably on like 6 months, and they changed that SOP. They were like, absolutely no function checks, because dudes were just blowing holes in the roofs of these cars, bro. They're just ventilating these roofs. Like light bars need to be replaced, and oh man, it was so good. It was so
Wow.
good.
That reminds me of a story
They
that
were handling their guns enough, apparently.
reminds me of a story Paul Markle told in class to not talk about James Yeager for once. Paul
Okay.
Markle was talking about after 9/11, he was still doing work for the military, and the word went out to start having everyone walk around with loaded guns because after 9/11 they were like
Sweet mother. Dude, we're at DEFCON 4 if dudes are allowed to load their guns.
yeah. So the word went out.
Oh shit!
Bases.
I'll demonstrate.
Holy shit! I can't
I
believe you just
know.
did that. Yeah. Anyway, so they got the word. Everyone's gonna run around with loaded guns now, and he said there were so many NDs across the nation because dudes were not used to walking around with loaded guns on a military base.
Oh yeah, they're not trusted with the bullets.
No. If you step off of the firing line, not the range, the firing line, you got to go to the shooting barrel. I mean, the clearing barrel, and shoot the round in the chamber into the clearing barrel and make it a shooting barrel because that's what they do.
That is a method of unloading your gun.
Yeah.
As Calvin would say, it's a way, not the way.
I had a student do that because at the end of our classes, we have a bunch of rental guns and we let students shoot different ones that they maybe you're thinking about buying. And I watched one student, she was shooting a few rounds, and then she just took the magazine out and pointed her gun at the target and just shot it, and then set the gun down. And I was like, it was at the target. It wasn't unsafe, so I didn't say anything.
It's a way to do it.
Yeah, it's whatever. Okay, it's open range. You can do what you want as long as you're safe.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I'm not in Arizona, so I'm gonna go to bed. But
yeah,
it's good yapping. I'm glad that I think we branched out into some topics that might actually be interesting.
yeah, like the the cops shooting the roofs of the, just
yeah.
ventilating all the cars. That's entertaining.
So I just said I was gonna end this, but I won't.
Here we go.
Have you trained with Farnham?
I have not.
Okay, so in his it was a while ago, so maybe my memory sucks, but I'm pretty sure in his lecture he talked about going to train Chicago PD, and he's in their muster room, and they've got pictures of like all these police chiefs all over their walls, but they're all at like different levels.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not lined up straight.
Yeah, I think I've heard this story because they were covering up holes
He's covering
from
up the bullet
cops
holes.
having NDs.
Yes, exactly. Covering up the bullet holes. So,
yeah, I tell a story like that to people when cops and gun handling comes up, but I didn't credit it to Farnham, and I didn't credit it to Chicago PD. But now I will, allegedly, if I remember.
That's what I remember. I'm not looking at my notes, but that's what I remember. Yeah.
If you're not looking, I'm not looking.
Fair enough. All right, dude. I will catch you later. If you don't have front slide serrations, you will die. It will be a winter of sickness and death for you. This is Reed with Rapid Response Training, and don't do weird stuff. Just don't be weird.